Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this newest entry in Gaming with the Geeks with our buddy Aldo Gomez of Board Offline. Aldo, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Adam.
Oh, that's so great to hear.
I'm so good.
Oh my gosh. So we're going to have some fun with Resident Evil, the remake. The remake.
No, the remaster.
I'm sorry. The remake, the remaster, the reimagining.
The HD.
We're gonna have some fun today, people. This is gonna be an interesting playthrough because this is probably, as Aldo just pointed out, this is like the first thing that we've been able to do together, just him and me, probably since like early Geek News.
Since we started, I think like the first 4 episodes were just us while we got Romney in.
Oh, it was more than that. It was like because remember, like for the first couple of months, it was like the first hour was guaranteed you and me.
Yeah.
And then Romney would come in. So that's going to happen. And what's even better about this is, I don't know why, but people think for some reason we hate each other. Like we hate each other to pieces.
It's probably because I give you so much crap about your sources on the show.
Not only that, but like I think it's more along the lines of we give each other crap.
Yeah.
But guys, this is how we act outside of the podcast as well.
We've been working together essentially for a few years now.
Yeah. It's got to be at least 2.
I think it's 3 now, isn't it?
It's got to be like
2014, 2013 that we started.
Yeah, 2.5, 3 years. I think, because I almost want to count more because like I was talking about bringing you guys into the podcast way before that.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I got the format figured out, it wasn't that, then we started going.
So I want people to be aware that Aldo is on the control right now. So
Yes.
it's Aldo choosing easy mode right now. When the game asks, how do you like your games? Oh, I don't know, like taking a walk. Let's do that.
Yeah, exactly.
You can relax and enjoy yourself and crap your pants at your own leisure.
But wait, that means we're not hardcore.
Oh, no. I rather never.
Do we play as Chris or do we play as Jill?
I personally fancy Jill myself.
Well, I can't necessarily disagree with that because if you're going to play a game for so many hours, you might as well like what you're looking at.
Right.
I'm sorry. Is that sexist of me?
We're oppressing the female audience.
Oh, no. Oppression. Guys, and on top of that, like, I think I've actually read where a lot of Capcom reps or execs, not necessarily Shinji Mikami, but they all consider Jill to be more of the canon winner of Resident Evil, not Chris.
Yeah. And
so at that point, there you go.
I know Jill is technically like one of the fan favorites, like along with Leon.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, like, I still remember the outrage when 5 happened. And everyone was like, you made Jill a bad guy! Oh my gosh!
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it was kind of a little bit of a cop-out. But still, they redeemed her back in like in Revelations when she was part of the BSAA.
Yeah, funniest thing, the only Resident Evil game I've never played.
Revelations?
Yeah, both of them.
So I love Revelations because they're such a return to form to like this game, specifically like 4, because 4 takes place like on an abandoned ship. Not 4, my bad.
4 is in Spain.
Yeah, no, I mean Revelations.
Revelations
1 is such a return to form because it takes place on an abandoned ship in the middle of the ocean, and you're investigating. So it's like this, where you're in one location, and you're just discovering every nook and cranny of it.
Yeah. And here's the thing: I've seen stuff on it, but I haven't actually like physically played it. I think the reason is because I believe it's a Vita game, or it's like a handheld game.
No, it was on the 3DS, but it's on your PC. It's on everything now.
Okay, yeah. Because it's one of those things, like, if I have availability to it, I don't know if I'd play it on PC, but I would definitely play it on a console just to see some of it.
So it's on PC, and I think PC is probably the best way to play it, because as far as consoles, it's on the PS3 and not the current gen.
Mm-hmm. But this is the one that had, like, all of the underwater horrors, right? That like, you see in Google Images, you're like, oh my gosh, when the hell did they go underwater?
Yeah. It doesn't actually take place in water, but yeah.
No, it's like on a tanker or something like that.
Yeah. So one of the things I really like about HD, Resident Evil HD, is I like the fact that they went full CGI on like everything, but it also makes me sad because they went full serious on it. And there's a lot of great lines that are just gone.
I'm kind of there too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love both of them.
Yeah.
I love the seriousness factor that now we're actually like taking things seriously.
Yes.
But I've been trying to make an argument to Alex for so long to do the craptastic dub of Resident Evil.
You gotta do the director's cut.
Yes, absolutely.
Terrible basement music.
oh yeah, I forgot about the terrible basement music. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. And we need to do it, but it's one of those things where, like, how can I justify bringing in Resident Evil to Drak and Shadow when everything is, like, so hunky-dory for us?
Right.
And it's not like I can make it just an October Let's Play. Yeah. Because Resident Evil is a good 10 hours, you know?
It's a good 10 hours, and then some if you do both campaigns. Because you can do Jill and then Chris's, and there's some changes to the story.
But see, here's the thing. I want to do both campaigns because, holy crap, there are equal levels of derpy in both.
Oh, yeah. I have to say, though, as far as like the amount of, like, derp lines, Jill's campaign.
Oh, yeah.
Jill has, like, 3 of the most memorable, like, Resident Evil lines of all time.
Let me put it this way. One of the ways that I actually pitched this to Alex was I wanted to bring you remember Brooke, who came with us for Digimon?
Yes.
I wanted to bring her in because she's played Resident Evil.
Oh.
And so at that point, one of the skits that I wanted to do was for her, and because you can get the audio for that stuff everywhere now. I wanted to actually do a skit with her and me reading, like, Jill and Barry banter, but she's Barry and I'm Jill.
Not quite your ordinary house.
Just because it's so bad.
Hey, Whisker, where's Chris?
But at the same time, you cannot deny the reveal of the tyrant on Chris's end, where it's like,
We've got to find...
why are you laughing, Chris?
What was that?
Stop it! Stop!
No.
I don't know. For me, my favorite thing is all like, oh no, we were just in a life-threatening situation. Oh, we're almost a Jill sandwich. It's like, really?
Right.
Well, thanks, Barry.
Here's the thing: the Jill sandwich will never be denied. I mean,
Stay sharp.
When you compare the two campaigns, wholeheartedly it goes to Jill because there's more ham-handedness in there, and most of it's from Barry. But then you have those moments in Chris's campaign that are just out of nowhere. They are the RKO of video games. They just come out of nowhere. And it's one of those things that I've never been able to forget, ever, is the laughing.
Yeah. I don't know. I think for me, it's always been that Jill sandwich, Master of Unlocking, all those things.
Oh, yeah.
So for people, so people who were not paying attention, we're going with, I opted in for the new controls, because I think tank controls are a relic of the past.
I do too, but I'm so used to them.
So here's the cool thing, and here's like the thing with tank controls, because tank controls were kind of built out of a necessity of navigating in a 3D environment without an analog stick at all times, because you had people that had the game without an analog stick.
Oh yeah, because I mean,
PS1,
the original PS1 didn't come with them.
Right.
I know that's gonna blow a lot of kids' minds, but yeah, DualShock didn't happen first.
And so the great thing about tank controls at the time was that you could navigate in a 3D environment with just your D-pad, which when you choose the alternate control scheme, you can still tank control with your D-pad. So if that's what you're used to.
Okay.
But when you go with your stick, you can just go ham. Woo! So there we go.
Yeah, so I'm just really glad that we're being able to play this. But man, if I could make a justification to do the craptastic dub, I would.
Yeah.
And I would put in the full cutscene, opening cutscene.
Yes.
Because there's just too many good moments from
with
that.
Like 16-year-old Jill Valentine.
No! Don't go!
Hold on.
And here comes.
I'm gonna knife.
Bring out the knife.
Chink, chink,
Chink.
And this is my favorite. Just a little, just a schoolyard shank.
So I have to admit, like when I first saw the original one, the reveal of the zombie, it wasn't that scary to me. But this one
was...
I about peed my pants, man.
Yeah.
So
I haven't played Resident Evil in like a long time. The first time I played it, nope. So this, I'm just gonna chicken out here because I don't need to waste my bullets because
No.
Barry does that for me.
Because everybody, welcome into the world of survival horror. Because if you waste it, it's not worth it.
Look out! It's a monster!
Oh no.
And I mean, if you look at this from like a horror movie perspective, this is the more likely reaction.
Yeah.
She's gonna run like hell to Barry and let him do the job for her.
Yeah.
Nothing against Jill, but
What the hell is this thing?
I'm gonna get like 10 texts like
Well,
you
I mean-
demeaned her.
Well,
No.
I mean, like Jill was. This is supposed to be what, like her first real mission
Yes.
with stars.
Yeah, because like Chris had the military history, so at that point he'd already done missions, and I think for this one she was like fresh out of the academy kind of grad.
Yeah. Okay, so we got the shield emblem, which was right up there.
Which is funny because like the other team rookie gets paired with Chris because Rebecca is also that, but little did we know she had some horrific experiences herself. So, oh man, if this actually pans out and people ask us to play Resident Evil 0, what are we gonna do?
No.
I don't know if I can deal with the man leech.
Honestly, I so the next game I would want to play if we play another Resident Evil game would be like 5 or 6 because they're super campy and because there's like actual co-op.
Do we play them co-op though?
Yeah, I would say yes.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I would say because I think 5 you can't even get through it unless you're playing co-op.
But you can. It's just that much harder.
Yeah.
Like it's not harder
Good
because
idea.
like you're playing single. It's harder because the AI is not that great.
No, it's not. And from what I've heard, 6 has the same issue too.
Yeah.
Where AI and difficulty are kind of an issue. The other thing too that I'll also say about this game is that, oh my gosh, holy crap, so many things added into this game that do boons for the lore. I still to this day I agree with everybody who puts Lisa Trevor on any like top 10 list because she is a freak out factor in this
Barry.
game.
Anything, Jill?
No, nothing. What's going on around here? I can't figure it out.
Same here.
Chris and now Wesker.
There's not much we can do. We can search for him separately. I'll investigate the dining room again.
Okay, then I'll try the door on
The
the
mouth
other side.
animations are still awesome in this
Yeah.
one.
This mansion is
I will go and that's your dining room.
easily get lost. Let's start from the first
I mean,
floor.
and for people who don't know, like, so the game looks great,
Yes.
but this is actually a GameCube game.
Yes.
Like, so you still have a lot of those like.
Yeah, it's
nuts.
not like they built this game up from the ground up.
Yeah.
You know.
Thanks.
You have a
I
lot of
may
those
need
not
it.
really smooth, like subtle
happens.
nuances to the face, like their mouth and eyes are not.
Got it?
Also,
Great.
the problems become very evident of like when you bring this up to HD, what the generation was working with, and so you will actually start to see some weird animations, weird walk cycles, things like that.
Yeah.
Just because it was built for GameCube at that time. Which is still very weird to say. The more horrific Resident Evil game made it to GameCube. And even Resident Evil 4. Holy crap, how many people actually predicted that one?
Right?
That it wasn't going to go to PlayStation or to Xbox.
Because at that time it'd been like a very PlayStation series. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you had them on the N64, but the go-to place to play them was the PlayStation.
Yeah, I still remember, like... So I had played Code Veronica on Dreamcast. We had a family Dreamcast that died soon after, sadly. But I remember playing Code Veronica, and so I got Code Veronica X as soon as I heard it came out to PS2. Simply because Resident Evil feels like it belongs on PlayStation.
Yeah.
And then I got to see, like, the original Resident Evil and Resident Evil 4 going to the GameCube. I'm like, what are you gonna do with that? Is this gonna be, like, G-rated Resident Evil? Because, I mean, I have no problem admitting this.
Oh,
Nintendo's the kiddie console to a lot of people.
what is this shenanigans?
Ugh. Oh, you didn't know this?
No,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think there was a zombie. No.
Also, the unfortunate part is that you also don't have any kerosene.
Oh yeah, because they come back as the Reds.
As the Crimson Heads.
Oh no.
Which, funny story. So, when I played this for the first time, I played with my best friend. And my best friend, like, the only books he's ever read in his life, he does not like reading, but he read the Resident Evil books.
Wait.
And that's actually where they show up the first time.
Oh really?
Yes, and so at that point, when we first had that moment, he about had a, well, orgasmic accident in his pants. He was like, oh, that's the Crimson Heads! I'm like, what are Crimson Heads? Dude, run! And he's like trying to get me out of there, and then he explains to me, no, these are more dangerous zombies.
Controls.
And here Aldo was opting for this control scheme.
I know, right? I wasn't expecting the camera to like. Can I?
Welcome back to old Resident Evil, where fixed camera angles are king. Can we use it?
Nope. Not you, sir.
Oh, there we go. Now we have the map
Hooray!
of the mansion. Hooray!
Okay.
Now we can navigate ourselves.
Look, there's a typewriter, so where we can go safe. Great.
So, now here I actually have to make a little bit of a confession. Because people will know from the previous Gaming with the Geeks that we did with Brinton for Devil May Cry, for Metal Gear for Romney, and also for Rise of the Tomb Raider, we had a bunch of questions that people asked, like, about their channel, what they review, things like that. For some reason, they got tons of questions. Aldo got very little in comparison. So, and the only I actually opened this up to people. I'm like, why don't you guys have questions for Aldo? And I got kind of a two-pronged answer that I think works. Is like, well, we know what we need to know about Aldo, and on top of that, any layers of mystery get filled with humor anyway. So at that point, we're okay with it. I was like, that's kind of like a backhanded insult to Aldo.
I mean, it's fine. Like,
I can attest to that. Like, you wear yourself on your slave, my friend. Yeah. You do. And that's why in a lot of cases I paired you guys, or I got you guys immediately for the podcast, and I knew that had to work. But at the same time, it's like, well, while we did get questions, the other thing too that people mention is like the fact that we see you on the podcast, but not as often as like Romney. Romney shows up every week. Yeah. And one of the reasons that both me and Romney have gone into on the podcast as well is like, dude, you do so much crap that it is understandable to us why you're not there. Because you do our podcast plus like two others. I think you do Reviews versus the World. Yes. And then you've also done your own Board Offline podcast. Yes. So you have all of that stuff going on. Plus you have a 9-to-5 job. Yeah. Plus you're trying to do game reviews. Plus you're trying to do this. Plus you're trying to do that. So at that point, it's like, I get why you guys are missing him, but he has to sleep.
I do a lot of like little side projects where I kind of help kickstart a lot of little projects. Mm-hmm. So like SLC Nerd, which you guys can see on my byline every time, not byline, on my lower third. Yeah. When I do the podcast, is a short little. It's like a little. Whoa! Nope. Stab me. Oh, well, I wasted that.
And I think you lost the knife out of that too.
Oh, jeez.
Do you want your knife back? Oh no, you have your knife again.
No. Okay, so I lost the dagger, but I have the knife. Leave me alone.
Oh, that's right. Because you get separate daggers in this that you can stab into their heads.
Okay. Nope. That was a bad idea.
Billy, I told you no necking.
I'm sorry,
guys. This is what this is gonna be.
Where's that zombie? I'm waiting for him to. Okay, there we go. I gotta drop. Oh hey.
And there you go. You got another dagger.
Hooray! Yes, I will.
So yeah, I mean, Aldo does a lot outside of the podcast, and so at that point, we bring him on, but at the same time, I actually don't think it's what's the word I'm looking? Not inconsiderate, but I don't think it's unacceptable to give him that leeway so that he can do these projects, because this is what Aldo does, and in fact, it also benefits our podcast in the fact that he does all this stuff. Yeah. Because for crying out loud, this doesn't get mentioned a whole lot because eventually Romney became the superhero of it. You were actively working on Genshiken and being the producer of it and making sure that we had the dialogue and all that written. You were even editing it until your what was it, Premiere decided to...
Yeah, so I had decided... So I had decided for some reason to upgrade to Windows 10, which I'm happy with it. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. So I'm not going to bash on Windows 10. I love 10 actually quite a bit.
Yes.
But I had upgraded to it probably the month before the deadline for the TIBA.
Yeah.
For the TIBA competition. And I had not at any point between then and when we started editing opened up Premiere and checked it out. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I opened it up, it was not reading my files. I think probably Premiere 6, CS6 was just not compatible with with Windows
Yeah, because at that point I knew that CS6 was slowly being outmoded as far as Adobe was concerned.
10. Everything else works fine. Like I have no problem using Illustrator or Photoshop or After Effects even.
Yeah.
But trying to use Premiere, everything just kind of crapped out tremendously, and I was like, oh no, Romney.
Yeah, I knew of students and friends who were using the Adobe suite that were using CS6 or CS5.
Yeah.
And once they upgraded to Windows 10, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And they got so pissed. I actually know of one guy who demanded a refund from Adobe. He never got it, but it was just like, well, all the problems that you're having are with Windows 10. And unfortunately, he couldn't upgrade back.
Yeah.
It was he couldn't upgrade back, and he didn't want to. Because kind of like me, where I didn't actually take the offered 32-bit version. I wanted to upgrade to a business version so that I could use more RAM.
Yeah.
And so I actually had to buy Windows 10 myself to be able to do that.
You got the 64-bit version when you upgraded.
But I didn't have I had the home 64-bit version, and it was still restricted in your RAM.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My brother and me actually figured this out, that it still restricted you to, I think, 8 to 10 gigabytes of RAM, and just the download version that was being offered. I've heard later that they've since patched it, and you can get up to, I think, 16, and you're okay. But the business version doesn't have a limit, so I could go all the way up to 32 gigabytes of RAM, and I'd be okay. And considering how much crap I have to edit on a regular basis, the more RAM the better.
Yeah.
So that's just the way it goes. But I knew of a lot of people that had those particular issues. And I felt bad because I was on the Creative Cloud at that time.
Yeah.
And I had no problems transitioning.
I eventually upgraded to getting only Premiere on the cloud. Which works fine now. It works well. So I've gone back to editing. But no, yeah, that was really unfortunate timing. Oh, that's a door.
Yes, it is.
Oh, hey.
It's one of those things that I love as far as additions to this game. In fact, this is the other part. I love that you can go outside the mansion.
Oh, are we outside?
And you can go out to the little graveyard area. That is one of the ways it actually leads to Lisa Trevor's cave.
Yeah.
And I have no problem admitting this. Lisa Trevor did give me nightmares. Just the screams and all that stuff that you get from her. That, and when she starts kind of evolving.
Yeah.
She is freaky as all hell. But anyway, yeah, so you did the Genshiken stuff, but at the same time also, you have been a tremendous help in getting Bonsai set up. Because, well, you know how it works, and unfortunately I'm like the layman when it comes to stuff like this. So I've had to rely a lot on Aldo to be able to get things going, especially since communication between me and Bonsai has just not worked out. I've gotten emails from them. I just barely got a text from them today asking, if our panel is still going to work. But it's been also a great help to be able to go, although I'm still having problems, and then Aldo knows somebody at Bonsai, so he can talk to somebody.
I've worked with Bonsai, not like on staff or anything. I've just kind of worked a little bit with them in the past, as far as like doing panels, doing podcasting, doing a bunch of stuff. So I mean, I don't really have like an inside guy, quote unquote.
No,
but I do kind of know who to pass her a little bit to get a response.
Also, the other benefit is like you make very active assertions that like we go to cons, we get press passes and things like that because you're able to do that. And so like you and me have had this conversation like, why don't you get a press pass for this convention? I'm like, I don't know if I can actually do that. Dude, you can totally do it. And that's helpful. Yeah. So at that point, no, there is no hatred or anything like that between us. But the banter just works. So we love it. We let it flow. So yeah, we will have some questions here and there, but unfortunately, like to the level that Romney and Alex got, where it was lots professional stuff, like, dude, I got questions about like what specific anime do you think would like as far as a candidate for a video kind of thing, and we'll get more of them into the Q&A with Alex. For you, it's more along the lines of, and this is actually going to be a good first question. Where did Board Offline come from? Like, is it something... Because obviously it's labeled with 80% of what you do.
Yeah.
So at that point, what is kind of the origin story of Board Offline?
Wait, is this the dogs?
This might be a hallway with the
okay.
dogs.
It's not the dogs, but there's a
No,
zombie.
it's not. The
Not
museum is.
Okay. Oh hey.
Oh, is this this may be one of the new hallways that I'm not entirely familiar on. It's been forever since I played.
Yeah.
I played it on GameCube the last time, and that's where I knew all about it.
Yeah, so we'll take all the green herbs.